Hey folks, Deano here again. This time take a look at a Dragon Stars that, quite honestly, I thought I'd already reviewed. I don't know if the recording got lost to time or something like that, but yeah, I never uploaded it. And I do distinctly remember reviewing this guy, so yeah, that's a bit strange. But yeah, this is the Dragon Stars Cell Final Form. For whatever reason, Dragon Stars called him a name that he's never been before. This is Perfect Cell to anyone with a brain. But yeah, the whole reason this guy even came into my mind is because a lot of people have been talking now about hopefully seeing an updated FIGUARTS Perfect Cell. Because like he's on the recent survey that Tamashii put out for figures to potentially get a reissue. I think at the moment it's a toss-up between, for whatever reason, the original FIGUARTS Perfect Cell, Broly, Final Form Cooler, and the Z Androids. Personally, if it was up to me, like the Perfect Cell, bin it. Do not even reissue that. That's just a terrible figure these days. He's way too scrawny and small. If it was up to me, I would probably go with either Final Form Cooler or the Z Androids. And for obvious reasons, like if one of the androids wins Tamashii, use your brains and please just reissue both of them. The Z Androids to me are like, they still hold up today. They are some of the best 1.0s I think Tamashii have ever released. I mean, the face prints on them beat out the new Tournament of Power androids that came out a couple of years back. So yeah, but yeah, I thought I'd just get this guy out there just to see how people like him. I personally do really like this cell. He's limited in the articulation department, don't get me wrong, but he is big, he's imposing, he's bulky, and to be quite honest, he's probably one of the best figures Dragon Stars have ever sculpted. Like, he's very, very close to being the perfect figure. Obviously, he's a bit more expensive these days. I think the link I'll put in the description on Amazon UK, he's going for about 40 odd quid, which isn't cheap, but at the same time, it's a lot cheaper than the FIGUARTS 1.0. And if you absolutely need a perfect cell in your display, I would go with this guy all day, every day. But yeah, let's get him off the turntable and take a look at the box. So in terms of the box, he is pretty much your standard Dragon Stars packaging with the sort of dark grey, the Dragon Ball Super logo, Dragon Stars series, for whatever reason, Cell Final Form. It is 4+ for some reason. I wouldn't give this to 4-year-old. These are collectibles, just under the guise of a children's toy. And you can see all the figures at the back. This was when they were churning out figures like nothing else. When was this released? Does it have 2019? Bandai 2019. So yeah, at this point, this is 6 years old, this figure. So it's no wonder the price has got up a little bit. And we have an image on the side, which is a really nice looking image of a Cell, to be completely honest with you. And yeah, on the back, the only one really at this point I would get apart from Cell would maybe be Frieza. If people want to see me review that guy, because he is actually still affordable, then I will. In my opinion, this Frieza looks a bit more like his Super appearance in Resurrection F, as opposed to what he looked like in the Namek saga. The FIGUARTS looks more like that, but I don't actually think I'll ever be able to get that figure now. I don't think it's getting reissued ever. So, but yeah, the Android 17 is way too tall. The Piccolo is meh. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, just go with the demoniacal fit. Same with the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. But yeah, standard box. Nothing much to write home about. So let's take a look at his accessories, of which there are just a couple. So yeah, typical Dragon Stars fashion, we don't get much in the way of accessories at all. We get a pair of fists, which I believe are on him in the package, and a pair of grippy sort of Kamehameha style hands, but they are very slippery, but yeah, and they're very chunky, not much detail to them, and also like the way the pegs work on these figures, you're not really getting them into a blast sort of pose at all. Ignore the fingers, like I customized them back when I only had a Sharpie. They did not turn out well. I have never used these hands since, so yeah, don't sue me. But yeah, that's it for accessories. Let's get on to the figure. So yeah, taking a look at Cell here. First things first, like even though his articulation isn't the greatest, which we'll go over in a second, the sculpt work and like bulk of this guy is perfect for a perfect Cell. Like almost a perfect sculpt, you would say. But yeah, everything from the broad shoulders, the face, like one thing Tamashii never got right was those purple bits on the side of Cell's face. But this time, I would say that looks really good. The only thing I wish they would have done was make this a smirk face instead of a stern face. I think Cell works best when he is cocky looking. He gets that from Vegeta. But yeah, even the colours are really nice. Like some people said the green is too like dark of a green. Personally, I don't really mind it. It could have been a little bit brighter. I think he was more of a grass green in the promo images. So this sort of darker green isn't my favourite, but it still looks really nice. The purple really pops. It's a really deep purple. And in terms of scale, if we just bring in everyone's favourite third-party Goku, the demoniacal fit martialist forever, you can see Cell has quite a bit of height on this guy, and he's a 3.0, which means he is slightly taller and bulkier than like standard 2.0 FIGUARTS. So yeah, they definitely got the height down for Cell, that's for sure. The original FIGUARTS was very, very small and scrawny. The same with their Piccolo, the 1.0 Piccolo. I don't know what it is. For whatever reason, Tamashii didn't like scaling their figures properly. The only one they really got right was Broly. To this day, I think he's the perfect height in the 1.0 line. But yeah, apart from that, not really. But yeah, there's not much in terms of paint to speak of. The only real paint we get here is basically the shapes on him, as well as, well, I suppose there is quite a lot of paint actually, now that you mention it. The blacks are all painted. Not sure about any of the purple, I don't think so. But yeah, the blacks, the shapes on him, and the purple in the face actually. I just after talking about that, and I completely forgot. But yeah, there is a fair amount of paint work on this guy, especially for the price he came out at. He was only 20 quid. So yeah, really like it. There's a lot of detail on this guy. As for articulation, that's where this guy's kind of let down, but then that is Perfect Cell's design. Like, I am very curious to see how FIGUARTS would solve it these days. But yeah, this Cell's neck is completely stuck in place. I am not sure if that's meant to be the thing, or meant to be the case, but yeah, you really can't move it much. You can swivel his head back and forth. You can't really get it up much at all. There is a ball joint in there, but I think it's so far up his head. Yeah, I can't even get that off. Yeah, it's so far into his head that I don't think it's any use at all. His sort of wings here, they're on, like, there we go. Yeah, they're just on a hinge there with, I think, no, there isn't that joint there. So yeah, the fact that the wings sort of move a little, that's purely due to the looseness of the joint. So yeah. The arms can go up straight horizontal, nothing much else. They can swivel all the way. The wings don't really get in the way at all. We have no butterfly joint to speak of. There is a ball joint in there, but you can only really get it to go down and up. There isn't much forward at all. So yeah, even if you wanted to get them in the Kamehameha pose, you really can't. Bicep rotation, which gets a bit tight once you move it a little bit. Double joint at the elbow, past 90, not the greatest. Ball hinge at the wrist. Dragon Stars forever copying FIGUARTS but making their pegs really chunky, so they don't really work well. Waist / ab articulation, not a whole lot. You can go down about that much, back about that much. He does have swivel and a little bit of pivot, but not a whole lot to speak of. The legs are on a 1.0 style FIGUARTS drop down hips, so normally you really can't get much range out of this guy at all. These bits here really get in the way regardless of like the version of sail. So yeah, you bring that down, that's as far forward as you can get. You bring the hinge down though, you can get about that far up. He can't do the splits past that because these bits get in the way. We do have thigh rotation. Do we have thigh rotation? I don't actually think we do. I think that's purely the ball joint in there doing the work. Knees are frankly pathetic. They can get about 90, and that is your whack. Oh, there is. It's, of course, the old 1.0 style. The thigh rotation is hidden up into the cut. So there you go. Feet are on a sort of ball peg swivel. It can go up that much. Can't really go down any without popping the entire thing off. Bear with me. I honestly did not expect that to go flying off comically into the distance there, but there you go. Yeah, the sculpt down here pretty much makes it impossible for you to use that ball peg. You can get a slight pivot if you're lucky, but yeah, the feet are never great on Dragon Stars, to be honest. But yeah, that is pretty much your whack in terms of articulation. Like I said before, it's the perfect sculpt, but the actual articulation leaves a bit to be desired. But yeah, guys, that'll do it for this quick review, I think. Like I said before, if you really need a perfect cell in your collection, I would go with this guy. Fingers crossed we get some sort of updated perfect cell in the near future from Tamashii. I think we pretty much are moving into the Cell saga, or the Android saga. We already would have, if not for the Dragon Ball Daima releases, which personally are frustrating me a little bit, but hey, gotta give the new series its limelight. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think this guy is worth it? And leave a like if you enjoyed. So until next time, guys, I'll see y'all later.